Hey everybody, KC here. So it will come as no surprise to anybody who has paid attention to Morning Newsbeat over the years that I liked and admired Frieda Caplan, the great Frieda Caplan, enormously. And the ways in which she changed the produce industry in the United States and the way people look at fresh produce, it's almost beyond calculation. Well, it's interesting. I have in my hands a brand new book, and it's a kid's book, and it's called Try It, How Frieda Kaplan Changed the Way We Eat, written by Mara Rockcliffe and illustrated by Giselle Potter. And this is an absolutely terrific book. It's so great that I gave a copy of it to my daughter, who's an elementary school teacher, because I think it's a terrific school for her to use in her classroom. And the whole premise behind the book is that Frieda was willing to try pretty much anything. And when we try different kinds of foods, in this case, specifically fruits and vegetables, it enlarges our lives. It makes our lives better in ways that are almost impossible to count. And it talks a lot about her history and how she started with mushrooms and then would basically, because people would bring her new stuff because she was so successful with mushrooms, they would, that's how we got the kiwi fruit and cherimoyas and jicama and blood oranges and black radishes and even seedless watermelon, that she was instrumental in popularizing those kinds of products around the country. Terrific book. If you've got little kids and you're trying to get them to eat right or try different things, it's a great book to read them. If you have a relative who happens to be a school teacher at the elementary level, it's a great book to give them to bring to school. And quite frankly, if you're a supermarket and you've got a produce department, you ought to be selling this book there as well, because there are parents who would probably be coming in and they could look at all that stuff and say, ooh, I could use this as a way to educate my kids about how to eat new and different kinds of foods. Terrific book. Available, you can obviously get it from Amazon, you can get it from your local bookstore. I'd find a wholesaler and maybe order dozens of them and put them in my store if I were you. So it's called Try It, How Frieda Kaplan Changed the Way We Eat. The interesting thing is that, as this book comes out, I was also looking at a new television series on Netflix that basically is trying to do the same thing. And it's called Waffles and Mochi. And basically, it's sort of a Sesame Street type thing. And it follows these two puppets, Waffles and Mochi, as they learn about different kinds of foods. And right now, it's a 10-episode series. And they look at things like potatoes and salt and rice and eggs and corn and mushrooms, learning an awful lot about where these products come from and how they can be used and how we're all better off the more fresh food we can eat. And it's not just focusing kind of relentlessly on those foods. It looks at them in a broader context. In the first episode, which is about tomatoes, Chef Jose Andres is on, and he talks a little bit about how he uses tomatoes in some of his recipes. The puppets even go to a pizza parlor in San Francisco to learn about how tomatoes are used in pizza, and it's great. The pizza parlor happens to be one in which it is owned and run by people who are hearing impaired, and therefore they're communicating with sign language. So the puppets learn a kind of inclusiveness that even goes beyond food. It has to do with the people that we encounter in our lives. It may not come as a surprise to you that the host of the show is Michelle Obama, who clearly made fresh food and eating right kind of a centerpiece of her husband's administration. It is produced by the Obamas in a big deal that they have with Netflix in terms of they're going to be trying to produce a lot of what they would view as being socially responsible programming. But listen, I think it's highly responsible for us to try to get our kids to eat better and eat fresher and to try new things. This is about being a responsible industry, and quite frankly, it's about being responsible teachers and responsible parents. So there's Waffles and Mochi on Netflix, and there's Try It, How Frieda Kaplan Changed the Way We Eat, available wherever books are sold. I think you should check them out. That's what's on my mind this morning. And as always, I want to hear what's on your mind.